Hello awesome people of YouTube, welcome back to another game of Starcraft 2. This is going to be a new series. This one is going to be between Poland and France. So our two players here, I'll introduce them very quickly. On the Terran side we have MarineLord, and he is representing both Millennium and France. His opponent, as you may see from the chat, is actually Elazer, spawning at the bottom left hand side of Central Protocol, and he is representing Team True Esport and Poland. So let's get on with this game. As you can see, I am currently using a different user interface. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to it, but the thing I do like about it very much is the worker count and supply count always being visible here pretty much all the time. I really like this, and I think that if this works out well, I will continue with this UI. As you can see also, it's a lot cleaner. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. It's all nice and neatly tucked in over here. One thing that is missing from this UI, however, and it's probably gonna bug me for a while, is the fact that you don't have unit selection. So let's say I'm selecting the hatchery here, and there's no health. There's nothing showing. It is possible to bring it up like this, but it's just not as comfortable as just selecting a building. We will get used to it, and I hope that you guys do like this better. I think it's quite nicer simply because it's so clean. So let's have a look at what our players are doing. It does look like Elazer decided to go for a hatchery before pool, which I suppose is quite perfectly alright. And MarineLord decided to go for triple barracks. Now this does suggest that he's potentially doing a bit of Reaper all in. Not quite an all in, but he's putting a lot of resources towards Reapers. Now funny thing is, he did actually rally these guys to the wrong direction, and now finally decides to rally them in the right direction. So that's quite okay. It seems that he just changed his mind, and I wonder why that is. I suppose he saw something. Oh, never mind, his SCV is actually scouting over here, so that's actually quite okay. So let's see what this Reaper manages to pull off. There is a few Zerglings on the map, just a note. So this one Reaper won't be able to do that much. He'll be lucky if he manages to kill off a few Zerglings, and of course if he manages to kill about one or two SCVs, then that'll be quite awesome for him alone. Now with more and more Reapers starting to stream in here, these Reapers are going to become more and more potent. Of course, with each Reaper doing about 8 damage in total. And are these Zerglings going to sneak in? Oh, they actually run straight into the base. Now he's going to have Reapers up here very shortly, so of course he will be able to defend off against this. Will he snipe a few SCVs? It does look like he's about to get one, and no. Loses his Zerglings and kills absolutely nothing with it. Now this is actually quite a nice win here from MarineLord. He did manage to kill off that drone and also force the cancel on that building, which kind of wasted a bit of resources by itself. So a second gas, actually never mind, that's an extractor trick, so I'll find here. Funny thing is, he has no overlords on the way as well. Now if you notice here, there is a command center coming out here for MarineLord, which means he is trying to standardize the game just a little bit. Does look like he has a tech lab on the way, so probably going to start out with a bit of a bio build. There's no factory on the way yet, so he is sticking with that biotech for quite some time. Looks like a bunch of roaches also on the way. It's going to be a little bit difficult to fend this off as just a marine army. As you can see, it's a very small army at the moment. The one thing that he does have, of course, is these charges. He's able to push back these units and of course do a bit of damage to them at the same time. Looks like a bunker coming up here. Not quite sure how long this would hold off against so many roaches and of course the Ravagers that are being morphed. I do think that the actual very big advantage here is of course in Elazer's favor. So it looks like there's a few Marines and Marauders being produced. As you can see, SCVs pulled off to defend and repair this building, of course. Gonna get destroyed very quickly now, and of course the units inside also getting cleaned up. Now surprisingly enough, MarineLord managed to hold off this attack quite nicely, and this is simply because of the speed of the Reapers. It's so hard to catch up to them because they are so fast. And just 2 SCVs lost into that attack. Now I think that because of the way that that MarineLord started off with a triple Reaper, it put him back so far behind he wasn't able to get a command center up, and at this point Elazer is going to start to pull ahead a little bit in terms of income. So as you can see here, the worker is a little bit in favor of Elazer, but at the same time his capability of producing workers is quite a lot higher. So now the command center is going to be up. He has of course transferred a few SCVs here, but producing more at the moment to make up for that in the main base. So everything is quite fine here. It does look like a factory is almost complete also. Let's bring up that production tab because it's going to be a little bit confusing without that in this new UI particularly. Stim is about to complete also. So it does look like the bio army is starting to take effect. Now it does look like a starport is also on the way, so probably going to see a few medevacs coming out of that very shortly. Now it does appear that Elazer is taking his third base, so the one thing with Zerg that I have to note here, it's very hard to take a third base. It's because it's so far away from everything. Your natural is pretty far away from your main as it is, but then when you try to take a third, it's just such an awkward position. Obviously you don't want to expand towards the Terran because then he'll be able to clean that up very quickly as soon as he does any sort of push. And expanding to the other side, it's just so far away. So it looks like MarineLord opts to go for a Liberator. And of course a Siege Tank, that is quite standard, bringing up a few Siege Tanks. Is going to start to do a little bit of damage to these drones, does manage to lose a Reaper already, and gets around it as well. This is a little bit unfortunate for him, but at the same time he did manage to snipe off 4 drones there. Is it worth it? Probably is. 4 drones for 3 Reapers, I would argue that that is worth it, just for the mining time that was lost there. Now in terms of economy, let's have a look here. It does look like the income is actually very close to each other. And just keep in mind that this is 2 base for each, and it looks like there's probably only, yeah, there we go. So there's almost no mules here, just a few, and they are tipping the scales just a tad bit in favor of Elazer here, or MarineLord rather. Speaking of which, I should swap these out. There we go. Now the creep spread is starting to take effect here as well. As you can see, this division for Elazer is starting to basically just spread all across the map. This is going to be very evident a little bit later on when he pretty much joins up these bases and starts building it towards the middle. For now, it's just a little bit, but of course it does give him those few extra vital seconds to respond to any sort of engage from MarineLord. Now looking at the army supply, it does appear that MarineLord is slightly ahead, but at the same time, Marines, as you all are aware, have one of the highest DPS when fighting against low armor units. Bit of the creep, gonna get cleaned up here. That actually gets sniped off before it finishes, so that's pretty lucky there. It does look like the Liberator is also here. Now the Liberator is going to have to be very careful on how it sets up. It's very easy to destroy it as a Zerg. You do have your Ravagers. There we go. The 3 Ravagers going down. That's going to... Oh, just 1 more needed to take that out. And as you can see, the big surround here, the Marines doing so much damage simply because they are so close in there. And it's going to be very difficult to hold this off if the Marine army engages. There's only 1 medevac to keep them up, but at the same time, they do so much damage and are also very quick. And this is a very big deal here for MarineLord. He's able to deny the actual ranged attacks here, so this could very well force GG here with all of these units just dropping like flies right now. Now, as you can see, the supply is indeed favoring Elazer, but the reason for that is actually because of that 3rd base, so his actual worker count is a lot higher. But in army supply, MarineLord is just slightly ahead here. Now he might have seen a few units coming in here from the right hand side, so this may just suggest and may give away to MarineLord that there is indeed a base there. Actually, never mind, he's seen it earlier, so that is quite significant there. This is a very solid position for MarineLord now. He's about to lose all of his units, but at the same time he's in such a strong and dominating position because of the fact that he's done so much damage here. Now if you notice, there is a burrow being produced for Elazer, so he might try to do something with the... I'll take that back, he's not going to be able to do anything with the roaches that he was producing. A GG is called here, and Marine takes game number 1. So that's game number 1. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider leaving it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in game number 2. Of course, in this one, the Marine and Siege Tank push was absolutely crazy. Did far too much damage for Roach and Ravager, and that's pretty much it. See you guys in game number 2, and you take care of yourself. Bye bye.